Strange. The three archangels under the command of the Slaughter Angel, apart from the one who perished in the first heavenly battle, the remaining two seem to be at the quasi-ninth reincarnation stage. Why does this guy's strength, along with his wings of an angel, seem so much more formidable? Upon realizing the true strength of Archangel Belin, Lu Yun, who was by the side of the Demon Emperor, was filled with confusion. Lu Yun, Lu Hao, Lu Qing, and others were all from the same clan. Though they served under the Church of the Angel Kingdom, they were also branches under the Angel Queen due to their connection with the Son of Light, and thus were well versed in many of the secrets of the Angel Kingdom. As the situation grew increasingly dire, yet the Grand Elder was nowhere to be seen, a sense of unease began to rise within the hearts of many powerful beings. However, while an Archangel at the 9th reincarnation stage was undoubtedly powerful within the Boundless Fire domain, with Yao Ji at the quasi-9th reincarnation stage and Lei Zhu at the half-9th reincarnation stage, along with Xun'er and others, their combined strength might just be able to defeat him. Outrageous! This is the Boundless Fire domain. I don't care who you are, whether you're an Archangel or a lesser one. If you want to capture someone from my domain, dream on. In contrast to Xun'er's calmness, Mu Yingying was immediately enraged. The endless sacred flame of fire began to surge, completely shattering the silence. Ghoul gulp. With Mu Yingying's resolute words, countless strong warriors of the Boundless Fire domain felt a wave of relief in their hearts. It seemed they had underestimated the resolve of their matriarch in the past. Yingying is right. The Lord of the Boundless Flame Alliance is not here, so if you want to capture someone from here, you'd better have the Slaughter Angel come personally. Xun'er's calm eyes suddenly burst with a chilling coldness. Then she fixed her gaze on the Archangel surrounded by several angels, speaking each word deliberately. The voices of Xun'er and Mu Yingying echoed throughout the entire Boundless Fire domain, causing the bloodlines of all the strong beings to subtly boil with excitement. This was the Boundless Fire domain they worshipped. If they were to hand over Lei Zhu so easily, how could the Boundless Fire domain ever show its face in the Great Thousand Worlds again? Moreover, the matter of Lei Zhu was filled with suspicions. Truly a bunch of stubborn fools. I come under the command of His Excellency, the Slaughter Angel, to capture Lei Zhu. If you insist on obstructing me, there will be no mercy. Angelic Holy Prison. Seeing how troublesome the situation had become, Archangel Belin's eyes began to fill with a murderous aura. At the same time, as her voice fell, the four cherubim behind her moved simultaneously, their dazzling angelic wings slicing through the sky. They formed an impenetrable prison of light, rapidly moving to suppress Lei Zhu with lightning speed. The angelic kingdom's might was renowned throughout the Great Thousand Worlds, and few forces could rival it. Humph! Witchcraft Mystic Realm. Faced with the provocation of the Archangel, Yao Ji was enveloped in enchanting purple witchcraft power. She rose suddenly and, with little effort, shattered the attacks of the four cherubim. Good. How dare you defy my angelic kingdom? Today, you will learn the consequences of opposing us. Watching this unfold, a sinister smile spread across Archangel Belin's face, her grin twisted with madness. Although the Slaughter Angel had instructed her not to make a move against the Boundless Fire domain, she could not allow such disrespect. She would show them the power of the Angelic Kingdom. The might of the Angelic Kingdom was not something anyone could trample upon. Archangel Belin's expression began to shift. What was once deep and colorless now became murky. A wave of extreme coldness surged from her body, and her face twisted into an arrogant curve. In an instant, she stirred the forces of the entire sky. Her wings of an angel flapped, devouring all the energy in the Boundless Fire domain's void. The energy coalesced into a gigantic, pure white divine beast. Before anyone could react, the divine beast raised its enormous claw, infused with angelic power, and suddenly lunged toward Lei Zhu's position. Where the giant claw passed, space itself twisted, and the immense power of the angelic force seemed to ignore any resistance. Locking onto Lei Zhu, and Lei Zhu, as though planning no resistance, stood quietly in place. The attack of the divine beast was fiercely destructive. Even some of the eightfold reincarnation stage powerhouses felt their spirits falter. However, in this moment, watching the invincible Archangel, countless strong warriors of the Boundless Fire domain clenched their fists tightly. Boom, boom, boom. An enormous evil sword surrounded by dark energy appeared in the void. Su Shuiying wasted no time, unleashing an overwhelming attack with the first-ranked demon sword from the divine artifact list, the punishment of the holy demon sword. At the same time, Xiao Yan held the heart demon melody harp, ranked 2nd in the demon realm. Yushi held the moon god sword, ranked 16th in the human realm, and the Azura blood chain, ranked 3rd in the celestial realm. In the hands of the master of the sword domain was the myriad formation diagram, ranked 15th. The Devourer Spirit King held the cosmic bag, ranked 11th. The Demon Emperor held the sky-splitting demon spear, ranked 3rd, while Xianyi held the demon refining cauldron, ranked 2nd. Even Mu Yingying held the heart-soothing sacred sound zither, ranked 9th. Aside from figures like Yuru and Little Medical Immortal, dozens of completely different divine artifacts were deployed, emitting faint yet terrifying fluctuations that seemed capable of challenging the Archangel Commander's unparalleled divine power. Boom, boom, boom. The earth-shattering sounds swept through the Boundless Fire domain, turning it into a tumultuous battleground. People of the Boundless Fire domain are not ones to be captured so easily. Your so-called evidence is nothing but your one-sided claims. Yao Ji stood firm before everyone, surrounded by the forces of witchcraft, her power emanating an indistinct but terrifying aura that could contest the Archangel Commander, bolstered by dozens of elite warriors behind her, presenting a formidable resistance. Watching this, Archangel Belen, the beautiful leader of the angels, slightly shifted her gaze. The aura of the so-called Grand Elder of the Xiao clan was so faint it was puzzling. Had it not been for this person, would she have hesitated so? Stop. I'll go with her. The sacred beast instantly crumbled, transforming into countless brilliant white light threads that fell like rain. With a slight grit of his teeth, Thunderlord spoke to Yao Ji and the others. Currently, the Endless Flame Alliance possessed the strength to save the Xiao clan, but it lacked the power to confront the Angel Kingdom. The Xiao clan's salvation was imminent, and they could not allow countless efforts to be wasted due to his personal actions. Even if he were captured by the Angel Kingdom, as long as the people of the Boundless Fire domain could rescue the Xiao clan, there would still be hope. Moments later, Thunderlord stepped out of the crowd, heading toward Archangel Belen. With her intelligence, how could she not understand the Angel Kingdom's scheme? The Angel Kingdom intended to use him to balance Xiao Yan, and even shake the very foundations of the Boundless Fire domain. A wolf in sheep's clothing, the heavens could bear witness. Thunderlord, you must not. Seeing Thunderlord's calm demeanor, hurried voices rose from the crowd. The Angel Kingdom's methods were always swift and decisive. If they allowed them to capture Thunderlord so blatantly, the hard-earned prestige of the Endless Flame Alliance would be shattered, and in that moment, the Boundless Fire domain would undoubtedly become the laughingstock of the Great Thousand Worlds. Although Archangel Belen was powerful, without the Grand Elder's strength, the many powerful warriors under the Endless Flame Alliance showed no signs of fear. Their home, their honor, it was up to them to defend it. If they simply handed Thunderlord over based on the Angel Kingdom's one-sided accusations, what would others think of the Endless Flame Alliance? The Angel Kingdom's contempt for life was unacceptable to all. She's clearly coming for me. Hearing the voices of many of the top fighters of the Endless Flame Alliance behind him, Thunderlord's expression subtly shifted. Since the destruction of his family, he had been consumed by rage, blinded by hatred, not realizing that his subordinates had all been the same. Even now, the warriors of the Endless Flame Alliance stepping forward made Thunderlord feel as if this place was another home for him. But the Angel Kingdom was too powerful. So powerful that even mentioning its name caused a suffocating pressure. If the Boundless Fire domain provoked the Angel Kingdom now, it would be akin to seeking its own destruction. The Endless Flame Alliance was the only force that could save the Xiao clan, and Thunderlord would never let them risk it. Let me ask you one last time. This person, will you hand him over, or not? In the sky, Archangel Belen's voice suddenly turned cold, her divine angelic brilliance surging like a tidal wave, about to sweep across the entire boundless fire domain, turning it into a barren wasteland. My people of the boundless fire domain do not fear death. In this tense moment, Xun'er's body flickered with the dazzling breath of sacred flame, and the 10 Crows' divine shield, refined by the master of the 9 mystical flames, emanated an overwhelming divine power, enveloping Thunderlord in a protective shield. It was clear now that the people of the boundless fire domain had made their intentions known. They would protect Thunderlord at all costs. Ultimately, just a bunch of naive little brats. Yao Ji, are you truly going to watch the boundless fire domain perish? As if already having predicted the outcome, Archangel Belen's gaze slowly shifted toward Yao Ji. Now that the Alliance leader is away, Thunderlord is a core general of the Endless Flame Alliance. Given the suspicious nature of this matter, and the way your angel kingdom operates, the boundless fire domain will not stand for it. Yao Ji's expression froze completely at this moment, as countless dark sorcery powers slowly floated in the void, alert to every move of the enemy. We are willing to swear our lives to follow. Hearing the unwavering tone of Xun'er and Yao Ji, the countless powerful figures under the boundless fire domain behind them felt their bloodlines surge with fiery intensity. The vast roar of their voices swept like thunder, echoing across the battlefield. Archangel Commander, this matter? As they watched the tense standoff, the angels beside Belen looked grim, their brows furrowed tightly. Even they had not anticipated that there were still forces in this world daring to defy the Angel Kingdom. Though the Angel Kingdom did not directly interfere with the balance of the Great Thousand Worlds, almost everyone knew that, in a sense, the Angel Kingdom was the supreme enforcer of order over the human realm. The Endless Flame Alliance's strong defense of Thunderlord would likely bring them catastrophe sooner or later. Lord of Slaughter, we only ask that you don't harm them. As she spoke, the angel wings behind Archangel Belen fluttered, her eyes instantly shifting to a pure color, radiating a terrifying power that surpassed the laws of this world. In an instant, the entire sky was filled with howling winds, and waves of seductive purple energy ripples slowly fell from her wings, coalescing into a judgmental light blade infused with the might of heavenly punishment. The void twisted, and then, all the Demon Emperor and others could see was the immense light blade falling from thin air, containing the power of the Angel Kingdom. Its target was unmistakably the Endless Altar, the boundless fire domain. The size of the light blade was enormous, stretching 1,000 feet. On top of that, it carried the divine power of the Archangel, a force no one within the boundless fire domain could hope to resist. This crazy woman. In that instant, Lu Yun's heart pounded fiercely, and a primal fear surged from the depths of her soul. Even if the attack was casually unleashed by the Archangel, with her supreme status and the power of the 9th reincarnation stage, such an attack would surely annihilate the entire boundless fire domain upon impact. The target of this assault was not the strong forces present, but the boundless fire domain itself. Her intention was clear: to intimidate these warriors. Don't worry, I won't kill you. I told you, my target is only Thunderlord. However, for some ants who stand in the way of the Angel Kingdom, it is only natural for you to suffer a little. Seeing the hatred and fury in the faces of the countless strong warriors below, Archangel Belen's expression turned into a cruel smile. There was no hint of divine holiness in her face. Instead, it was a mocking, pitiless grin. Had it not been for the command of the Lord of Slaughter, these ants would already be dead at her hands. But since the Grand Elder of the Xiao clan had not yet shown himself, Belen figured he was likely not in the boundless fire domain. This was why she dared to mock the power of the boundless fire domain. Today, capturing Thunderlord would serve as a warning to these ignorant ants. The divine might of the Angel Kingdom cannot be insulted. Boom, boom, boom. The speed of the sacred light blade was incredible, and waves of suffocating divine fluctuations pressed down on everyone's hearts. 10 Crows' divine shield, punishment of the holy demon sword, power of the divine path, sky-splitting demon light. Watching these apocalyptic attacks, the high-ranking figures on the endless altar exchanged looks, their eyes filled with endless killing intent. Their bloodlines, souls, and energies surged wildly, and the brilliant, vast breath of reincarnation roared out. Formidable energy attacks, terrifyingly powerful, gathered from the endless altar. Dozens of attacks converged in a wild collision, faintly resisting the fall of the energy light blade. Even the so-called ants of the Boundless fire domain, when united with divine artifacts and other powers, possessed formidable destructive force. How is this possible? In an instant, Archangel Belen's expression flickered with surprise as she stared at the battle suspended in midair. These ants, actually resisting her attack? Boom! Just as Belen was stunned, a subtle energy fluctuation emanated from the space vortex high in the sky, one that only she could sense. The sneer in her eyes gradually faded as her arrogance began to melt away. No more time to waste. Hemph! Next time, I'll play with you properly. In a flash, Belen's figure shot forward towards Thunderlord's location, her speed so fast it was terrifying. As everyone was focused on resisting the sacred light blade, they had no time to pay attention to Thunderlord. The crisis was rapidly closing in on him. Seeing the terrifying assault of the Archangel, Yao Ji and the others hastily cried out in alarm. However, by the time they tried to defend themselves, they realized it was already too late. Belen's figure moved like a ray of dawn, instantly sending Xiao and the poison god Mysterious Crane flying. With a smile on her face, she gazed at the Thunderlord. Today, no one can protect you. Clack, clack, clack. Just as her words fell, countless purple halos suddenly scattered from the Archangel Belen's wings of an angel. In the blink of an eye, a pure and immaculate light cage flashed, trapping the Thunderlord inside. The mighty angel kingdom resorts to such despicable methods? How laughable. The Thunderlord did not resist. Instead, he slowly fixed his eyes on the Archangel, a look of disdain and an unmistakable sneer in his gaze, provoking Belen's nerves. It was clear that the Thunderlord had already guessed their intentions. And what if it is? Belen's voice was calm and unruffled. How could the likes of you, mere ants, ever fathom the intentions of the Angel Kingdom? Despite the Thunderlord's sharp words, Belen showed no signs of displeasure. Even though they knew the Angel Kingdom's objective, what could they possibly do to counter it? Let's go. With a gentle wave of her hand, Belen sent the light cage toward the spatial vortex, clearly intending to return to the Angel Kingdom. Don't go. The void over there. Something's off. As the powerful figures on the endless altar grew increasingly frantic, Xun'er and Mu Yingying spoke in unison. The void, already enveloped by the angelic light, now emitted a series of terrifying waves. This wave. In the next moment, Xin Yi and the Demon Emperor's eyes twitched. They instinctively turned their gaze toward the horizon. Is this what they call an angel? Just as the situation seemed to be tipping in favor of the angels, a cold, disdainful laugh suddenly rang out from beyond the spatial vortex in the sky. The sky was filled with countless birds and beasts, all clamoring and rising together. An ancient aura, one that surpassed the strength of all those present, slowly emerged from the void. Demonic Realm's aura? Sensing the overwhelming demonic energy, Belen's expression subtly changed. The demonic realm's strength had drastically waned after the first war between heaven and earth, so how could such a being exist that could threaten her? Boom! The void trembled violently, and the entire world suddenly dimmed. In the next instant, countless fragments of the void shattered, and two figures, radiating earth-shattering brilliance, stepped out from the broken space. Two figures, one male, one female. Especially the male, whose presence unleashed a mysterious pressure. His handsome face showed no hint of emotion, and on his forehead, a mark resembling an 8-colored vertical line glimmered. The moment they appeared, a terrifying, oppressive force descended from the heavens, unsettling the Archangel Belen's mind. Ninth reincarnation stage. King of Beasts. Belen furrowed her brow, and her icy voice rang out sharply through the heavens and earth. The woman beside the King of Beasts, though possessing a mere 9th reincarnation stage strength, was no threat. However, the King of Beasts, being one of the most powerful of the demonic realm, greatly intensified Belen's pressure. If a battle were to erupt here, she was unsure whether she could defeat him, especially considering the stone axe-like weapon behind the King of Beasts, which made Belen's breathing grow heavy. I am here by the command of the Lord of Slaughter, to capture the one who endangers the great 1,000 worlds. If you persist in your defiance, I will not hesitate to turn the boundless fire domain into a land of destruction. Her gaze slowly lingered between the King of Beasts and the spatial vortex, before Belen's lips curled into a fearless smile. In that case, stay here. Heaven-shattering power, God-slaying axe. As Belen spoke arrogantly, the King of Beasts, surrounded by the images of countless divine beasts, stepped forward, drawing his stone axe from behind and swinging it violently towards Belen. The strike, casual yet infused with ancient, murky demonic power, easily shattered the angelic power around Belen, leaving a terrifying trace that seemed capable of obliterating her. King of Beasts, is this the rebirth of the ancient Jade Qilan? Just as the situation grew dire, a calm voice suddenly echoed from within the milky white vortex. Within the vortex, 10 long purple wings flickered. In the light of the wings of an angel, the entire boundless fire domain seemed as bright as daylight. In an instant, the King of Beasts' heaven-shattering strike was completely obliterated. The King of Beasts' body hovered in midair, his heart shaken, his expression darkened. The woman's pure white eyes revealed an endless coldness and an air of superiority. With a mere glance, she took in the entire world. Even the angelic fluctuations subtly radiating from her body only made the scene more chilling. Another Archangel commander. Seeing this indifferent Archangel commander appear again, the King of Beasts suddenly smiled, a fierce, unprecedented fluctuation bursting from his body. This guy, he was clearly the leader of the Slaughter Angels, the first among the 3 Archangels, Ares, at the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. Even now, the King of Beasts would likely be unable to resist him if he fought with full force. Enough. Thank you all. Looking at the powerful warriors around him, each risking their lives to protect him, Thunderlord felt a warmth surge in his heart. This was the first time since the extermination of his clan that he had felt such intense emotions. But the King of Beasts hesitated. With his power, he could certainly entangle one Archangel commander, but what about the other? I hope the rescue of the Xiao clan goes smoothly. If possible, please apologize to him for me. Thunderlord shook his head, his beautiful face betraying no fear, his calmness almost eerie. 10 days from now, the angelic holy city will publicly try Thunderlord. You are all welcome to attend. With ease, Thunderlord was captured, and soon, a cold voice rang out in the minds of all the high-ranking officials of the boundless fire domain. The angelic cage surrounding him completely obscured his figure, and then he slowly vanished from everyone's sight. When the aura of Thunderlord and the Angel Kingdom finally disappeared, the powerful figures atop the endless altar stood still for a long time. Consolidate all the defense lines of the boundless fire domain. Investigate all forces under the Endless Flame Alliance. Reorganize our strength, and wait for Alliance Leader Xiao to return before deciding the next steps. Everyone, thank you for your hard work. At this moment, Xun'er's cold gaze slowly swept across the pure void, now tainted by angelic power. She spoke quietly. The Angel Kingdom would face a fierce battle one day, but not now. Dragon Clan, Dragon Burial Pool. With the end of the Dragon Clan's calamity, over a month had passed in the great 1,000 worlds. Time passed extremely slowly in the Dragon Burial Pool, where even more than a year had elapsed. During this time, Xiao Yan's near-death body was gradually repaired and strengthened by the power of the celestial pivot dragon bone. Boom! A loud sound suddenly stirred the energy in the pool. Then, brilliant emerald light poured out from behind the unconscious Xiao Yan, perfectly merging with his body. Hoo-hoo! The commotion didn't last long, but Xiao Yan's fingers, once stiff as though lifeless, slowly trembled. Moments later, he crawled up from the stone bed at the bottom of the dragon pool. It felt as though he had crossed time. as though he had stepped into the dragon clan and had dreamt a long dream. In the dream, to quell the internal strife of the dragon clan, he had faced the 5 dragon kings, the Grand Elder, the Silver Dragon King, and others. Even in the final moments of crisis, the figures of Xiao Yan and others remained clearly imprinted in Xiao Yan's mind. At least you're fine. With Xiao Yan waking up, the 2 women who had been in closed cultivation in the dragon burial pool also opened their beautiful eyes. Looking at the vivid figure before them, they felt a sense of relief. After the battle with the dragon clan, both women had improved. Kai Lin had fully fused with the 10-colored heaven swallowing python inside her, and even Yun Yun's comprehension of the flower god's power had become clearer. Their strength was now almost at the threshold of the half-step 9th reincarnation stage. Given time, they would certainly become the strongest among the 4 great matriarchs. Where is Master? Though he had just awakened, Xiao Yan had no idea about the events during his unconsciousness. After sensing around and not detecting the presence of the Silver Dragon King, he immediately asked with confusion, had the Dragon Clan's internal conflict been resolved? What was the situation with Xiao Yan? Many questions still lingered in Xiao Yan's mind. Seeing Xiao Yan's puzzled expression, Yun Yun spoke slowly, patiently explaining the current state of the Dragon Clan, but she left out the part about the Silver Dragon King being removed from the Dragon Bone. So, after the Dragon Clan enters seclusion, their strength should recover significantly. It's just a pity about the fallen strong ones. After hearing Yun Yun's explanation, Xiao Yan's fist slowly clenched unconsciously. The surrounding void trembled slightly, and countless dragon chi began to converge from all directions of the dragon burial pool, as though responding to Xiao Yan's summons. Your power. 9th reincarnation stage? Sensing the sudden surge of reincarnation energy within Xiao Yan, Kai Lin's 10-colored heaven swallowing python power became alert. Her eyes revealed astonishment as she stared at Xiao Yan. Although the dragon god bone and the power of the golden dragon king helped in this growth, the speed at which it happened was enough to leave anyone speechless. However, Xiao Yan, at this point, had no awareness of the dragon god bone's existence or its importance. After all, for him at this stage, it seemed almost useless. Only after reaching the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage would he begin to understand its true value. Divine artifacts, their worth cannot be measured. The Golden Dragon King actually willingly gave up such a priceless artifact to save Xiao Yan. This resolute decision was undoubtedly impressive. During the previous battle, I used the demonic power, which allowed me to break through to a half-step 9th reincarnation stage. Now, my strength, I can only partially comprehend it. But for a long time to come, I probably won't be able to use the demonic power again. After all, the Dragon Clan's power was greatly drained. As Kai Lin mentioned, Xiao Yan carefully examined his body, and to his surprise, found no damage. In fact, his physical strength now seemed even more terrifying than when he was using demonic power. However, Xiao Yan knew that despite his accidental breakthrough to the 9th reincarnation stage during the Dragon Clan's journey, if he fought against a true 9th reincarnation stage expert, there would still be a significant gap. After all, if one were to break down the combat power of a 9th reincarnation stage expert, there were 3 distinct levels: early, middle, and late stages, even within the same stage. Among 9th reincarnation stage experts, Xiao Yan was currently at the early stage. Someone like Long Hao, a trusted dragon under the Golden Dragon King, had likely reached the late stage, though he had not yet touched the threshold of the 9th reincarnation stage's peak. Experts like the Silver Dragon King, who had touched the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage, were still in the early stage of that peak. Currently, with the sacred flame and his body, which had been inexplicably enhanced multiple times, Xiao Yan's combat power surged to a terrifying level that would send chills down anyone's spine. The Dragon Clan is in seclusion. We can't disturb them. I've left a soul mark, so there's no need to worry about what comes next. We should head back. Let's go. Our journey to the netherworld isn't far. As soon as the words were spoken, 3 figures flashed into existence and slowly left the Dragon Clan's exit. The boundless fire domain, the void, scorched by the divine power of the Angel Kingdom, still had traces of some inexplicably powerful, pure force lingering. This caused a lingering nightmare in the hearts of everyone in the Boundless Fire domain. Ninth Reincarnation Stage. Semi-ninth Reincarnation Stage. Your strength is certainly formidable, but you are both newly born. The structure of the Great Thousand Worlds is incredibly complex. Be careful not to act recklessly. Inside the matriarch's residence, Yaoji looked at the two delicate figures in front of her and immediately spoke with concern. Though they carried the strength of the most powerful divine beasts from the monster realm, compared to the angel kingdom, they were still far too small. Divine beasts, even when newly born, needed time to transform and grow. The king of beasts, though displeased, still nodded after glancing at the two matriarchs, Xun'er and Mu Yingying. What Yaoji said was not without reason. After a detailed discussion, everyone parted ways. What's wrong? Still unhappy? Yaoji is thinking of the bigger picture, and the strength of that Archangel commander is probably not as simple as just entering the peak of the ninth reincarnation stage. As the two figures slowly disappeared into the back mountains of the Boundless Fire domain, a young girl who had been following the King of Beasts like a little maid finally showed a sweet smile. Master, why hasn't he returned yet? Hearing Yaoji's words, the King of Beasts helplessly shrugged and couldn't help but think back to the scene in the center of the monster realm. He had been placed there by the Demon Emperor, absorbing power to grow and transform. Originally, the spiritual energy in the center of the monster realm wasn't enough for him to fully transform to the next stage. But the King of Beasts, in a burst of cleverness, devoured the statues of the 8 divine beasts of the monster realm to try and obtain enough power for his transformation. By a stroke of luck, he managed to completely transform and enter the next stage. It was only when he was about to devour the statue of the ancient Jade Qilin that a greenish demon light flashed, and out of it emerged a girl, resembling a baby. As soon as the girl appeared from the statue, she contested with him for the divine beast power. Due to the pressure from their bloodlines and souls, the King of Beasts recalled the first great war between heaven and earth, and he ended up sharing half of his power with her. My name is Shuang. Big guy, what's your name? Can't talk yet? Your beastly body is so strange, with all these shiny scales and unreadable words. Since then, in the mind of the King of Beasts, apart from focusing on his cultivation to assist his master Xiao Yan, the girl who possessed the power of the ancient Jade Qilin occupied his every thought. After the catastrophe in the monster realm, the two of them emerged from their seclusion, resolving the crisis before heading into the myriad monsters' abyss. They endured countless trials together, and their bond had long been undeniable. In the back mountains, peace reigned, and the two of them slowly shared secrets that only they knew. Thud, thud, thud. Just as the Boundless Fire domain began to return to its usual tranquility, the energy in the world suddenly surged, and a scorching aura made many powerful figures break into a sweat. This fluctuation was unlike anything from the sevenfold or 8th reincarnation stages. This aura, it's the master returning. There was no time to investigate the distant spatial passage. A shadow darted through the sky like lightning, heading toward the void that had been purified by the power of angels. Angel Kingdom. A soft voice carried an indescribable fury, and brilliant sacred flames spread out, quickly dissipating the angelic power in the void, which had been impossible to clear before, like defeated soldiers retreating in haste. In less than 10 breaths, the entire void in the Boundless Fire domain had completely returned to its former calm. To deal with a void purified by angelic power, only something as pure and divine as the sacred flame or demonic power could drive it away in the Great Thousand Worlds. The influence of angelic power is gone? Master Zhao's divine might? In an instant, the nightmare formed by the divine power of the two archangels from the angel kingdom completely dissipated. Let's go. Sensing the worshipful gazes directed at him from all corners of the Boundless Fire domain, Xiao Yan's authoritative voice echoed in the minds of the high-ranking members. Hearing this familiar voice, the high-ranking figures began to move together, heading toward the core. At this moment, the core of the Boundless Fire domain had gathered all of Xiao Yan's trusted aides. Yu Shi, Yao Ji, Demon Emperor, Xian Yi, Xiao, master of the 9 mystical flames, king of beasts, and others. Master Xiao, was the journey to the Dragon Clan smooth? The crowd stirred, and after a moment, the Phoenix Clan's leader spoke first. The internal strife within the Dragon Clan has been quelled. They will fully join the Endless Flame Alliance soon. Then, why is there angelic power present within the Boundless Fire domain? Such a concentrated angelic power is not something an ordinary angel would possess. Xiao Yan's gaze sharpened as he slowly scanned the powerful figures present. There was no hint of punishment in his expression, only a flicker of anger. Recently, rumors have been spreading across the Great Thousand Worlds. It is said that the Thunderlord has been specifically targeting the immortal sacred graveyard and other forces. She even caused the fall of the core of the Angel Kingdom's Holy See. The 2 archangels appeared and captured the Thunderlord, bringing her to the Angel Kingdom. In 7 days, she will be publicly judged in the Angelic Holy City. That's the situation. Yao Ji spoke up, listing the major events that had recently occurred. Balin of the 9th reincarnation stage. Ares at the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. Xiao Yan's expression turned grave, and he viciously suppressed the boundless fury inside him. The Angel Kingdom had actually taken advantage of the Grand Elder and himself being away, privately descending into the Boundless Fire domain to capture someone. Moreover, from what Xiao Yan had learned, the Xiao clan's fall was likely connected to the Angel Kingdom. This grudge could never be resolved. My master and I have been in seclusion in the Ghost Realm, and there is no way we could have been involved in these matters. Duan Qifei slowly took a step forward, her gaze cold as she stared at Xiao Yan. At this moment, she wished her strength were even just a bit stronger, so she could prevent this catastrophe. During the complete cycle of reincarnation, Duan Qifei had experienced the Thunderlord's life firsthand. Raised in a peak race, gifted with extraordinary talent, and filled with expectations, the genius aura she displayed made countless prodigies pale in comparison. Yet her race was destroyed, and she watched helplessly as the one she loved fell to ruin. The excruciating pain was beyond words. Now, debating the rights and wrongs of this matter is of no value. The purpose of the Angel Kingdom is already clear. As she spoke, Yao Ji slowly shook her head, focusing her attention on Xiao Yan. So, what is your decision? At this moment, Duan Qifei seemed entirely focused on the Thunderlord, her sharp voice directed at Xiao Yan. If the Endless Flame Alliance did not take action, the Thunderlord would surely die. But if the Endless Flame Alliance intervened, the cost would be immense. Yet no matter what, the Thunderlord was her master. If the Endless Flame Alliance did not take action, she would risk her life to save him. The Thunderlord. We will definitely rescue him. She understood her brother's nature. If she left the Thunderlord unchecked, it would be unreasonable both emotionally and logically. But the immediate crisis was the Endless Flame Alliance, which had no real way to confront the Angelic Kingdom head-on. At this moment, it seemed that even the strongest had no good solutions, all eyes locking onto the frowning Xiao Yan. Boom! Just as everyone was at a loss, 2 figures suddenly flashed out from the void within the Boundless Fire domain. Their disheveled forms and the aura surrounding them unmistakably revealed their identities. Angels. Lu Hao, son of light. After confirming the identities of the 2 visitors, a cold, murderous intent suddenly surged in Xiao Yan's calm gaze. Memories of Lu Hao's past actions towards him and Xun'er flooded his mind. Such a despicable person, even if he died 1,000 deaths, could never be forgiven. Xiao Yan, I admit that I wronged you in the past. Crack. Lu Hao and his sister were not hindered as they reached the endless altar. Lu Hao immediately dropped to his knees, his forehead heavily striking the ground. The deep red bloodstains left on the altar painfully tugged at everyone's heartstrings. If you want my life, or even my soul, take it. However, we are not here to dwell on the past. We are here for the greater cause. Lu Hao now spoke with a different air about him, no longer the same person from before. The way he carried himself exuded the dignity of the legendary Son of Light. Lu Hao, Lu Qing. Only when the 2 completely appeared before the crowd did Lu Yun, standing beside the Demon Emperor, slowly shake her head. As they appeared, her own bloodline also began to stir. That feeling, only someone of the same lineage could understand. What is your solution? Seeing Lu Hao and his sister's demeanor, Xiao Yan's anger gradually subsided, and he asked, "Open the Netherworld Gate. Let the Angelic Kingdom be left to fend for itself, and the Thunderlord's crisis will naturally resolve." Lu Qing raised her head and looked at Xiao Yan, speaking each word clearly. She knew that their arrival in the Boundless Fire Domain today meant facing a great threat of death. But when it came to the matters within the Angelic Kingdom, no one in the Endless Fire Domain understood them better than the Son of Light. If the Endless Flame Alliance went to war with the Angelic Kingdom, it would play right into the Angelic Kingdom's hands.